Hello, folks. I'm picking some apples. There's a lot of apples up here. You can see we got some hail damage from a couple of hailstorms in August. You can see I'm not the only one who likes apples. Oh, someone else who likes apples. Let me pickle that. So I'm giving them the, the ones with a bunch of scars and stuff on them, and then the apples are starting to get ripe enough that they fall. And so they're getting apples and more apples, and then in town there are some apple trees that don't get picked, and that's a real problem in town because bears will always come to a tree with apples on it. So I will probably spend a day going around and picking apples from people in town and bringing those to the pigs. So far none have actually made it to the pigs now, really, because the geese have mostly eaten any extras that I have. Oh. We're all right. I'm just watching you eat an apple. I realized that you can make fruit leather out of applesauce. Like if I can these apples into applesauce, then whenever I feel like it, I can put them in the dehydrator and make myself fruit leather. And fruit leather is like, it's something I never really had as a kid. So it's kind of this amazing idea that I could have fruit leather just like by coming out here, picking these apples, canning them, and then like as much as I want. I could eat as much fruit leather as I want. Because I mean, it's really interesting. This tree, in previous years, has had just tiny apples. They really haven't tasted good. And now that these are good and ripe, they're really good. Hey, Piglet. What you doing down there? You looking for apples? Let's see if I can find you a nice apple here. I also got another delivery of, well, some extra stuff from the grocery store, stuff that was bad. And some of those things that were bad were potatoes. Hi, little ones. So the geese had potatoes today, like 20 or 30 pounds, more than that. Hey, Piggo, do you also want an apple? I can give you your apple, like your own apple there. There you go. And you look like you also want your own apple. Oh, they must have a better apple. Oh. Showdown? Not really. Just peaceful coexistence. There's Avalou in the back. And that pig has given up on her apple. She gave up on her first apple. She gave up on her second apple. She's going to go roll in some mud or something. So yeah, they're still getting out. Haven't fixed that fence yet. There's a limit to what I can do in a day, unfortunately. And I actually took some of the weekend off. Like a little more than 24 hours. And went down the valley to a farm tour to see someone else's farm. So that was really fun. Starting to get my wood in for winter. This is dry pine. So the pine beetle killed pine in this area. Like, I think it was a 50% mortality rate. But you can see these long, thin tunnels like this on a lot of these logs. Here's like a classic one right here. So what happens is the pine beetle lays its eggs along this tunnel. They go under the bark and they eat underneath the bark. They lay their eggs, and then the baby pine beetles come out and eat sideways along the bark, and then they come out through these holes and fly away and eat more pine trees. And because of the way a tree works, it's all the inside wood here is dead. There's just like this tiny little bit of outside that is basically their entire circulatory system. So when the beetles eat that tiny little ring of bark, like you can see, it's just that deep, not very deep, then the trees die. So that happened like 10 or 15 years ago here, and that means that for a long time there was a lot of dead pine trees that were just standing up, sitting there, being dead. And normally with firewood, if you cut down a green tree, a live tree, like if I were to cut down one of those trees, I would need to let it sit for a year or two, like a full year or two in a dry place after I cut it. So you can't cut wood for this year. So up here, there's all this standing dead pine. People just cut down the dead pine for their firewood. Pine is really not an ideal wood for fire. It makes creosote, which is black stuff that plugs up your chimney and causes chimney fires. But we don't have very many species up here. The further north you get, the fewer species you get. And we are definitely reasonably far north. Hi, Whiskey. What are you doing? You're very pretty. You would like me to come in and sit on the couch and pet you? Yeah? Hi. It's starting to get dark earlier now, like 8:30 at night. Which means that Whiskey is getting pets earlier in the evening, which is good for him. Makes him happy. The pigs have been still getting into my potatoes. And they're still not eating the potatoes, I'm pretty sure. They're just eating the earthworms. And there are lots of earthworms because it's very rich, good soil. The reason I think that they're not eating the potatoes is because when I walk along, I'll see things like this. Potatoes just like sitting on the surface. And when I do find a potato with a hole in it, it's usually like a smaller hole that looks like it was made by a bug. Nothing on this. Nothing on this. I'm running out of hands. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a cut. And the geese love potatoes. So anything that doesn't look great, I kind of toss out there for them to eat. Oh. Oh no, I'm running out of hands. So, okay. Now we're doing the shirt thing. That means I'm really out of hands, but I can carry more. Someday I will make myself an apron with big pockets. Yeah, but the kinds of damage on the potatoes are not the kinds of damage that the pigs would make. So I don't think it's them making it. Instead, I think... Oh, here's a good damaged potato. This is like, see how it's been damaged for a while? It's kind of chewed off like that. That, I'm pretty sure, is a vole or a mouse. Yeah, like there. That's a perfect example of what a mouse does. It chews like these little indents in. And these are all mouse damaged one. That one too. And of course, there's cardboard under here, or there was. And it's really easy for mice to run along cardboard. And also, like, all of this vegetation here. It's really easy for mice to, like, come down from the greenhouse where I know they exist. And just come and snack on potatoes whenever they feel like it. Which is not really what I want them to be doing. But I think I'm going to try running maybe a couple pigs or some chickens. Pigs are probably best in the greenhouse and in the garden for just a while. And see if I can't get them to eat all those voles or mice or whatever it is. Because I bet they would love to eat those things. Hey, mister. Hey, pig legs. What you doing? Oh, you're running. Well done. Communication. So you can see the sky is blue. Blue, 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 blue. This is the second day of sun we've had here. It's been really a long time since we've had 2 consecutive days of sun. So that's pretty great. Everyone is hoping that we have a little more. Because we haven't had great weather to get hay. Hay needs to make hay, you cut grass and then you like let it lie on the ground until it's dry. And so you need days where it's not raining for that to happen. You can also, in order to harvest grain, you need some dry days. And my grain guy is running out of grain. So hopefully this will let him get it in. I really don't want to have a feed shortage right now because I would have to substantially reduce my animals, and I already have a plan for substantially reducing them. I don't want to reduce them more. You see that pig lying there in the sun? Just very content. There you go, pig. Rose hips are ripening. The pigs have learned to eat the rose hips off the bushes, which is fine with me. There are an awful lot of rose bushes around. Oh. time. I just filled that. I probably need to refill it, eh? Hey guys. Hey geeses. Do you mind if I go past without disturbing you? Is that possible? I'm just walking slowly and not disturbing you. You're having your nice bath. Oh, isn't that lovely? Rinsed it out, cleaned it. The water was clear and clean in there and full. I guess that's what you get. Hey, beautiful. I like watching them. It's easy to forget to take the time to slow down and just look. Just enjoy being here. Very pretty. Well done. Maybe I should go turn on that tap again and refill it, since they're having so much fun. Ooh, wet. You got me. You got me, little one. When they're excited, their necks vibrate. Definitely excited. Well, I'm going to take my apples in. Tomorrow when I sauce them, I'll come out and grab some of this rhubarb and make an apple rhubarb sauce, which I can turn into fruit leather. And my younger self will be so impressed and feel so wealthy and so fortunate. I mean, admittedly, I feel wealthy and fortunate a lot these days. Not because I'm not worried about money or because I'm not kind of I mean, there's a lot here that requires my resources of all kinds, but right now I feel really fortunate to have it and have the resources to keep this. It's just a rough time right now out there in the world, and I'm somewhat insulated. You can see back there Thea is by the gate. She's guarding. Has the boxes of food from the grocery store from the geese. So if I want the geese to eat that food, I need to like take it and throw it across the yard so that she can't prevent them from eating it. Time to go in, Whiskey? Yeah? Yeah, let's go. You have a good evening.